Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingnay Tim Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include: Amid ethnic conflict, Kuki body seeks UGC Net Exam Center in Chorachandpur. Multiple gunshots, mostly on back, kill 10 Kuki youths in Jiribam, reveal autospy reports. 4 Arambay Tingle members, including 1 juvenile, arrested. News in details. The Kuki Students Organization KSO has asked the National Testing Agency NTA to establish a University Grants Commission National Eligibility Test Center in Manipur's Chorachandpur district ahead of the exams slated for January 2025. In a letter to Sadhana Parasar, Senior Director Examination at the NTA, the organization's Education Secretary Thangmoy Haukip said the ongoing ethnic violence in Manipur had created significant security risks. He said this had made travel for Kuki-Jo students to the designated examination center in the state's capital Imphal, about 60 km away, impossible. The tribal Kuki-Jo people have been caught in a conflict with the non-tribal Meitei, who dominated Imphal and the valley around since May 2023. The conflict has claimed more than 250 lives and left some 60,000 displaced. The prolonged ethnic conflict has placed our students in perilous situation. Traveling to Imphal for the December 2024 cycle of the UGC NET examination is not just inconvenient, it's unsafe, Mr. Haukip said in the letter on Monday. The KSO pointed out that the nearest safe examination center from Chorachandpur for more than 3,000 Kuki-Jo students in Aizawl, Mizoram's capital, about 360 km away. A student has to spend more than Rs 10,000 in transport, food and lodging to appear for the exam. Most students cannot afford to expenditure. Even if they do, there is no guarantee of reaching the examination center in Aizawl on the time, as some students found out during the Staff Selection Commission exam in September, when their vehicles could not proceed beyond a certain point and they had to walk, a KSO leader said. The organization said Chorachandpur, a central and relatively peaceful district, offer a viable and secure alternative, ensuring that students could pursue their education without risking their lives. It emphasized the urgent need for equitable access to educational opportunities and warned that failure to address the issue could exclude many students from participating in the crucial national examination. Acknowledging the logistical complexities of establishing a new examination center, the KSO urged the NTA to act swiftly. It also proposed allowing candidates to update their preference of exam center through a correction window from December 12th. A local examination center in Chorachandpur is a necessity in these extraordinary circumstances, Mr. Haukip said. The 10 Kuki-Jo youths who were killed in an alleged gunfight with CRPF received multiple fatal bullet injuries, and most of them were fired from behind, according to the post-mortem examination reports. A detailed analysis of all the 10 autospy reports, which are available with PTI, showed that there were no other recorded torture marks on their bodies other than bullet injuries and the impact of such wounds. As per the documents, the 10 youths, including 1 minor, were identified as Ram Nay Lian, 29, Phim Lian Kung Murte, 31, Elvis Larrope Jote, 21, Lalthane, 22, Joseph Lalditum, 19, Francis Larzar Lian, 25, Rol Nay Sang, 30, Lalsiam Lian Mar, 30, Henry Lalsang Lian, 25, and Robert Lalnun Bluong, 16. The Manipur police on November 11 claimed 10 suspected militants were killed in a fierce gunfight with security forces after insurgents in camouflage uniforms and armed with sophisticated weapons fired indiscriminately at Boro Bekra police station and an adjacent CRPF camp at Jakurador in Jiribam district. The post-mortem reports also mentioned that most of them were in camouflage and khaki dresses when they were brought for autopsy at Silchar Medical College and Hospital in Assam. Interestingly, while 6 bodies were brought to SMCH the next day on November 12, 4 reached the hospital on November 14 and were in early stages of decomposition. The approximate time of death for the bodies on which autopsy was conducted on November 12 was 24 to 36 hours before, while those arriving on November 14 were 72 to 96 hours. Only in the case of Mar, the approximate time since death was 48 to 72 hours prior to conducting the autopsy on November 14. All bodies bore the wounds of multiple bullet entry and exit marks, even more than a dozen in some of the deceased. The bullets hit the young men all over their bodies from head to foot, and most of them were shot from their behind, according to the autopsy report signed by different sets of 3 doctors. The reports also mentioned that 1 eye each was missing from the bodies of Ngurte, Larzarliant Mar, and Lalsangliant. The doctors kept the opinion regarding the cause of death pending till the receipt of the chemical analysis reports of viscera from the Directorate of Forensic Sciences, DFS in Guwahati. The funeral of these 10 youths, along with 2 other Kuki men, will be held in Manipur's Churachandpur district on December 5, a leading organization of the community has said. The Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum ITLF, a key organization of the Kuki community in Manipur, had earlier decided that the funeral of the Kuki youths would not be conducted till their post-mortem examination reports were handed over to the families. After the bodies were airlifted from Silchar to Churachandpur on November 16, they have been kept in the local hospital morgue till now. While ITLF claimed that the deceased Kuki youths were village volunteers, the Manipur government asserted that they were militants. More than 250 people have been killed and thousands rendered homeless in ethnic violence between Imphal Valley-based Meiteis and adjoining hills-based Kuki group since May last year. It started after a tribal solidarity march was organized in the hill districts to protest against the Meitei community's demand for scheduled tribe status. Meiteis account for about 53% of Manipur's population and live mostly in the Imphal valleys. Tribals, Nagas and Kukis constitute little over 40% and reside in the hill districts. Teams of Manipur police on Sunday have arrested 3 armed miscreants and apprehended 1 juvenile from Sitrigao, Sabal Laikai in Imphal East district. According to police report, the arrested persons were found loitering in the area to commit prejudicial activities like extortion of money from general public and government officials of the state areas, as well as threatening the general public. They were later found to be members of Arambay Tengol. The 3 arrested persons were identified as Ningombam Lemba Singh, 25, Mangsa Tabam Poirei Ngamba Meitei, 21, and Laisram Bidya Singh, 21. Police recovered 1 Gatak rifle along with 1 magazine and 5 live rounds, 32 pistol country met with magazine, 3 mobile phones, 1 4-wheeler vehicle and other incriminating items from their possession. The arrested persons were later handed over to the concerned police station for further necessary legal actions, the report added. In a move to ensure compliance with the Inner Line Permit ILP system, a special checking drive was conducted by the Mayang Imphal Police Station at the Bengun area. During the operation, 29 individuals employed in a bakery were found holding labor category ILPs that did not adhere to the Manipur ILP guidelines of 2019 as amended in 2022. Verification by the Deputy Commissioner of Imphal West revealed that the permits have been issued in violation of the guidelines. According to the norms, labor category ILPs are strictly granted to groups or individuals engaged by contractors, firms or companies for construction-related work and are valid for a specific period. The apprehended individuals were instead eligible for regular ILPs, which require sponsorship by a permanent resident of Manipur and are valid for 90 days. Following this breach, the labor category ILPs were cancelled and the 29 individuals were deported to their homesteads. The Manipur Home Department has since instructed the concerned district administration and deputy labor commissioner to investigate the lapses and take strict action against any government officials involved. To enhance compliance and efficiency, the state government has formed a high-level committee chaired by the Commissioner Home Manipur. This panel, which includes representatives from UIDAI, the Chief Electoral Officer, the Land Resource Department, and district-level officials, has been directed to review the ILP implementation framework and submit its findings within 15 days. Meanwhile, the government has urged ILP applicants and holders to verify their permits and ensure they applied under the correct category to avoid complications. Plans are also underway to upgrade infrastructure at ILP gates and monitoring cells across districts. Additionally, amendments to the guidelines are expected to address ground-level challenges and strengthen enforcement mechanisms in the near future. Normal life and schooling go smoothly in Moreh, a border town in Tengnoupal district, Manipur, despite the prolonging crisis in the state. As per reports received from our correspondents at Moreh, the citizens of Moreh and its surrounding areas faces no difficulties in carrying out their normal lifestyles in spite of the strife-torn conditions of the state. People earn their livelihood as usual and schooling went smoothly as well. So far, no big issues or commotions that are big enough to hamper schooling and normal livelihood arise in the town, the report read. Most of the schools had also finished their final exams without any problems, and few are on the process of writing their final exams. Also, all small and big businesses are run smoothly by businessmen without any hindrance. The public urged those who left their homes in search of refuge in other places to return back and resettle in their own respective abode, saying, "We have to stand unitedly in these hard times and not desert each other." The 25th edition of the Hornbill Festival commenced with pomp and gaiety at the Naga Heritage Village, Kisama, near Kohima today. Speaking on the occasion, Nagaland Chief Minister Nephew Rao began by sending his greetings to all over the world on behalf of the people of Nagaland. He gave a special welcome to Japan, Peru, UK, Wales, United States of America, Bulgaria, the embassy officials as well as Dr. A.R. Rahman. He described the Hornbill Festival as an embodiment of the spirit of the Naga way of life, its vibrant culture and traditions. He emphasized on the festival being a legacy of the Naga forefathers and their spirit of unity and oneness. Rio mentioned that over the years, the festival has transcended to bringing not just the citizens of the country together, but also bringing together different nations for the greater good of humanity. He paid tribute to the people of Nagaland, their resilience and creativity, and that 25 years of Hornbill Festival stands as a testament of its unity and brotherhood. He said that its Naga citizen is an equal stakeholder of the festival. Rio thanked the foreign ambassadors sincerely for their efforts to travel to a far corner of the world and encouraged them to immerse themselves in the culture and come back with more friends and loved ones. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Japan to India, Keiichi Ono expressed his excitement to collaborate with Nagaland to promote its charms. He mentioned the shared common history of the importance of bamboo in the lives of Nagas as well as the Japanese. He also emphasized on Japanese schemes that have employed over 100 Naga youths in Japan. Ambassador of the Republic of Peru, Javier Manuel Pulinik Velarde talked about the shared values of the people of Peru and Nagaland. He said that the Peruvian dance will be showcased at the Hornbill Festival stage, which will resonate with the Nagas and make deeper connections with them. British High Commissioner to India, Lindy Cameron, CBOBE, said she felt excited that Wales is a partner country for this edition's Hornbill Festival, as it is the 80th year of the Battle of Kohima, where it has a deep historical tie with the British people as well. She endorsed the idea of furthering the partnership in the future through their shared love of music. Padma Bhushan, Grammy and Oscar winner Dr. A.R. Rahman began by talking about his love for Nagaland and the talent of the Naga people. He compared the energy of the Naga musicians as akin to the musicians abroad, which later inspired him to make a documentary, Headhunting to Beatboxing, about Naga artists. He enthralled the crowd with a special number. Country Director, India British Council Division, and Minister Education and Cultural Affairs, Alison Barrett, talked about her first visit to Nagaland 25 years ago during the humble beginning of the Hornbill Festival. She emphasized on the importance of culture, music and language, and its importance of sharing it with communities. She talked about the power of music, which brings together Nagaland and Wales. Director of International Relations and Trade, Wales Government, Andrew Godkin, began by talking about how he felt like he was coming home due to the likeness of the Naga Hills to those of the Wales Ranges. He talked about the importance of the Indian community in Wales. He mentioned the partnerships that have been garnered between the nations in the sector of healthcare, innovation, and youth. Deputy Chief of Mission, United States Embassy, Jorgen Andrews, talked about the spirit of humanity through the festival, and that the U.S. government is proud to be a part of it, along with the other partner countries. He thanked the people of Nagaland for their overwhelming hospitality. The 10-day-long festival will conclude on December 10th. Members of the Hindu Sangharsh Samiti vandalized the Bangladesh Assistant High Commission office in Agartala on Monday to protest against the persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh and the arrest of ISKCON monk Chinmoy Krishna Das. It was learned that during the protest, protesters set fire to the Bangladeshi national flag outside the office, triggering heightened tensions. Following the incident, the Indian government condemned the attack by emphasizing that diplomatic premises must not be targeted under any circumstances and announced measures to enhance security at the Bangladesh High Commission in New Delhi and its deputy and assistant high commissions across the country. Following the incident, the Indian government condemned the attack by emphasizing that diplomatic premises must not be targeted under any circumstances and announced measures to enhance security at the Bangladesh High Commission in New Delhi and its deputy and assistant high commissions across the country. During the protest in Agartala, a member of the Hindu Sangharsh Samiti said Hindus in Bangladesh are being persecuted regularly. Their homes, temples, and businesses are being attacked. Arresting Chinmoy Krishna Das without any valid reason is unacceptable. We demand his immediate release, another protester warned. If our demands are not met, we will intensify our protests in the coming days. The agitation was not confined to Agartala. In the North Tripura district Sadar, a protest meeting was held near Netaji's statue at the Gir Para area where participants condemned the persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh and demanded the release of Chinmoy Krishna Das. Similarly, at the Brahmabari area under Udaipur subdivision in Gomati district of Tripura, the Hindu Sangharsh Samiti organized a 3-hour protest rally, which culminated in a march to the Gomati District Magistrate's office. The demonstrators submitted a memorandum address to the Bangladesh Assistant High Commissioner via the district administration. Addressing the gathering in Udaipur, one of the protesters said, "The situation in Bangladesh is worsening every day for Hindus. We will not stop until their safety is guaranteed and Chinmoy Krishna Das is released." Meanwhile, responding to the incident in Agartala, the Ministry of External Affairs of India issued a statement expressing deep regret over the breach of diplomatic premises. The statement read, "The incident earlier today of the breach of premises at the Bangladesh Assistant High Commission in Agartala is deeply regrettable. Diplomatic and consular properties should not be targeted under any circumstances." The government further assured that security arrangements for all Bangladeshi missions in India are being enhanced. The Hindu Sangharsh Samiti has reiterated its demand for the immediate release of Chinmoy Krishna Das and the safety of Hindus in Bangladesh. They have warned that failure to address these issues will lead to larger and more widespread protests. The World Kuki Intellectual Council WKZIC expressed its profound grievance and resentment over the mishandlings of Kuki travelers along Litan Ukrul Road, where their belongings were seized and unloaded at Yaingang Pokpi on the 3rd week of November 2024. The same mistreatment took place again on the 30 November 2024 at Lambuir Ramva village, where goods were amounting to rupees 30,000 belonging to Litan Kuki were seized and unloaded at Lambuir Ramva village again as the third incident on the 30 November 2024. Another mishandling continued again on the 28 November 2024, where a Tangkol individual encroached upon Chasat Kuki village land by deploying JCB in the Jum field of Mr. Thongzatang Hoki. The fourth incident took place today, the 2nd December 2024, again at Lambui Ramba village, where Kuki travelers belonging such as rice, roasted meat, bread, etc. were seized and unloaded, adding fuel to the hardships and sufferings of the Kuki people of the two districts, apart from the ongoing 19 months conflict in the state of Manipur. Therefore, the public and CSOs, churches, chief, and concerned government authorities, DCSP of Ukhrul and Kamjong districts, are fervently appealed to kindly continue to support and oversee the grievances of victimized minority Kuki community of the stated two districts on humanitarian ground. Amid ongoing tensions at Meghalaya's Northeastern Hill University, Nehu, protesting students supported by the Nehu Students Union, NEHU-SU, and the Khasi Students Union, KSU, NEHU unit, have announced the resumption of classes from December 3. However, they also declared plans to hold an indefinite 2-hour sit-in demonstration until the removal of the current Vice-Chancellor, Professor Prabha Sankar Sukla. Speaking to reporters, the General Secretary of NEHUSU, Toniho Kharsati, stated that the removal of VC Sukla is their primary demand. He further expressed concern that physical classes have not taken place for a month, jeopardizing the future of the students. It must be mentioned that the student bodies are likely to hold a meeting with VC in Chur Saha to discuss the academic calendar of the university. Moreover, the student organizations also stated that they will revolt and protest against VC Sukla's entry into the university. Earlier on December 2, Vice-Chancellor Sukla extended his leave for 15 days. Until December 13, amid ongoing protests at the university, where demands for his resignation, along with that of the registrar and other officials, are being met. The Vice-Chancellor in charge of NEHU, Professor Nirma Lemdu Saha, said that the VC has extended his leave from November 30 to December 13. The inquiry report from the two-member committee dispatched by the Ministry of Education into the alleged mismanagement and administrative failures within the university is still awaited. Five first-year MBBS students who were studying at Vandanam Government Medical College Hospital in Kerala's Alappuzha died after their car collided head-on with a Kerala State Road Transportation Corporation passenger bus in Kalarkot on Monday. In the incident, 6 other passengers also sustained minor injuries and are currently receiving treatment at the nearby government hospital. The tragedy has left the families and friends of the deceased students in shock as they had been in contact until hours before the mishap. The deceased have been identified as Muhammad Abdul Jabbar Kanur, Muhammad Ibrahim Laksawit, Devanandam Malappuram, Ayush Shaji Alappuzha, and Sridip Palakat, as per a report on PTI. On Tuesday, Kerala CM Pinarayi Vijayan expressed his sadness and condolences to the kin of the deceased members. The CCTV footage of the accident revealed that the car, traveling at a high speed on a rainy night, lost control, skidded and collided with the bus before being crushed beneath it. Eyewitnesses reported that 3 students died on the spot, while others succumbed to their injuries later. Local residents who rushed to the spot described the aftermath as horrific. One bystander shared how the cries for help from the trapped victims haunted him hours after the accident. One of them held my hand, pleading for help, and became unconscious moments later, he recounted. Initial reports suggested that the car driver lost control while overtaking another vehicle on the rain-slick road. Alappuzha Municipal Vice Chairman PSM Hussain stated that the vehicle likely skidded with the brakes when the brakes were applied, causing the collision, as per a report on IANS. The KSRTC bus driver corroborated this, saying that the car's speed made it impossible to prevent the crash despite his best efforts. An MBBS student from the same college shared that one of the victims, his roommate, had mentioned plans to watch a movie in Kochi just hours before the accident. We joined the college only a month and a half ago, but I knew him from our entrance exam days, the friend said, deeply saddened by the tragedy. A tragic accident occurred in Karnataka's Tumkur district on Monday morning, resulting in the death of 3 passengers and leaving more than 20 others injured. The accident took place in the Sira area when a private bus collided with a road divider at around 4:30 a.m. The bus, which had been returning from Goa, was carrying several passengers when it veered off course and hit the divider. According to local police officials, the injured passengers were immediately rushed to a nearby hospital for treatment. While the exact cause of the crash is still under investigation, authorities have confirmed that the injured are receiving medical care and are being closely monitored. The Kalambela police station received information about the mishap, following which Superintendent of Police SP KV Asok and other officials promptly visited the crash site to assess the situation and assist in the ongoing investigation. At this stage, police are looking into several factors that could have contributed to the accident, though further details about the crash and the identities of the victims are still awaited. Local authorities are working to provide support to the families of the deceased and the injured passengers. In a separate incident on November 30, a bus accident in West Bengal's Kalimpong district claimed the lives of 6 people. The bus traveling from Siliguri to Gangtok met with an accident near Andheri, resulting in several injuries. Some of the injured passengers were taken to the hospital for treatment. The tragic incidents in both Karnataka and West Bengal have once again highlighted the pressing need for improved road safety measures and careful attention to driver and vehicle conditions. Investigation into both accidents are ongoing as authorities seek to determine the causes and prevent similar incidents in the future. Fifteen soldiers, including a general, died in the military council in 2 battles in Tiling Township, many injured and 1 arrested. Military Council War and Revolutionary Coalition forces collided twice in November in Mokwe region, Gango district, Tilin Township, and 15 members of Military Council died and at least 10 were injured, says Yo Totdo YA, according to the announcement issued on December 1. Military Council troops said that on November 20, large and small weapons entered the military area, where there is a military unit, YA military unit. 2. In addition, it is reported that on November 28, the Military Council War was intercepted by Yo Tatto Military Battalion 3 and Allied Forces. The injured Military Council troops retreated with the help of air missile. An official from Yo Tatdo YA said 15 people from Skaspak died in the Battle of the Umbrella Battle, and many people were injured. A general also dies. The master is starting to catch up. According to military reports, there are more deaths. During the battle, the Military Council air attacked twice with the Mi-35 fighter helicopter. After the battle, the Yo Tatto YA has announced that the enemy has seized 1 gun, 8 dead bodies, 1 MA gun, 2 carbines, other ammunition, military equipment, and radios. It is seen in the statement that the Military Council was attacked by Allied Chin Yi Nong CB, Yo Defense Army YDF, local defense forces, district forces, and drone forces. It is known that 2 comrades from Yatatdo YA were severely injured during the battle and 1 comrade from the Joint Army was killed. The Yatatdo YA was formed in the new year of 2024 and participated in the Battle of Matupi with Chin Yi Nong. At least 3 children, including 2 brothers, were killed on Monday when a toy bomb exploded in Pakistan's restive northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. The tragic incident happened in the Jani Khel area of Banu Swajir subdivision. Local sources reported that the children were on their way home from the madrasa when the mortar shell explosion took place and claimed the lives of 3 students, including 2 brothers. The mortar shell was lying in an abandoned area. The children, mistaking it for a toy, picked it up, leading to a powerful explosion. Dozens of children, mostly in northwest Pakistan, have lost their lives in the past when playing with toys that turned out to be explosive devices. Toy bombs were airdropped in neighboring Afghanistan by Soviet forces during the 1980s as weapons against those who opposed their invasion. South Waziristan is also one of the 7 semi-autonomous tribal areas where the army has for more than a decade been battling militants linked to the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. The army launched an operation in June 2014 in neighboring North Waziristan to wipe out militant bases in the tribal areas and end an insurgency that has cost thousands of civilian lives. Russia has effectively dismantled and replaced the Wagner Group in the years since the mercenaries shocked the world by launching a mutiny against President Vladimir Putin's government, experts have told the BBC. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the lead leader of the paramilitary force, crossed from Ukraine on 23 June 2023 and seized the southern city of Rostov after months of increasing tensions with military leaders in Moscow. His forces then began a brief charge towards the capital, meeting virtually no resistance. The march for justice, as Prigozhin called it, came to an abrupt end the following day after he called off the advance. Just 2 months later, Prigozhin's plan crashed and he was killed along with several other senior Wagner members, throwing the group's future into uncertainty. Dr. Sorcha McLeod, a member of the UN's Working Group on Mercenaries and lecturer at the University of Copenhagen, said ex-Wagner troops had fragmented across the Russian state. Wagner may not exist in exactly the form it did previously, but a version or even versions of it continue to exist, she told the BBC. There's been this sort of dispersal amongst the Russian state, so there is no overall controller. The Wagner Group was incredibly important geopolitical and economically to Russia, so it was never going to disappear, as some people suggested, she added. For years, Prigozhin's forces had been a valuable and deniable tool for Russian operations across Africa and Syria. But it was in Ukraine, as Moscow's conventional forces struggled to then keep defenses, that Prigozhin and Wagner came into the open. Throughout late 2022 and early 2023, Wagner was key to Russia's few battlefield victories. Its forces, largely made up of ex-prisoners, managed to take the eastern city of Soledar before it became entrenched in months of intense fighting in the meat-grinder of Bakhmut. At its peak, Wagner had around 50,000 mercenaries in Ukraine, according to the U.S. National Security Council. Now, experts said Wagner's operations in Ukraine have been subsumed by other Russian state and paramilitary units. One ex-Wagner commander recently told BBC Russia that the mercenaries have been ordered to join the Ministry of Defense or to go away. UK intelligence officials have suggested that some of the group's infantry units have been subsumed by the Rosgvardia or National Guard. The unit, established in 2016, has been described as Mr. Putin's private army and is controlled by his former bodyguard, Viktor Zolotov. The UK Ministry of Defense has said elements of the Wagner Group started coming under the National Guard's control in October 2023. Referred to as volunteer formations, the ex-Wagner troops were to deploy to Ukraine on 6 months contracts and to Africa on 9 months contract, it said. Anton Yelizarov, a long-term Wagner operator who is said to have commanded the mercenaries' bloody operations in Bakhmut, appeared to confirm the integration days later. In a video posted to a Wagner-linked Telegram channel, he said he was presented at the construction of a camp where Wagner troops would work for the good of Russia and join with National Guard units in a few formation. UK officials said the incorporation of former Wagner Shoal detachments into Rosverdia's volunteer corps highly likely indicated that Wagner has been successfully subordinated into Rosverdia, increasing the Russian state control over the Wagner Group. Other Wagner forces have signed up to fight with Vladimir Putin's strongman in Chechnya, Ramzan Kadyrov, and his Akhmat forces, a recent BBC Russian investigation found. A tangible example of the group's decline came when its logo was reportedly stripped from the tower block it had occupied in Russia's second city of St. Petersburg. The local People Defense Force informed the media person that Myomin, one of the PSOT leaders who was responsible for killing and beheading dozens of innocent civilians, was arrested in the middle of the day on 29 November by the local police defense force. Myomin, known for his extreme violence and brutality, was captured by the local PDF on Nay Pito Tungpyo Highway while he was traveling. Myomin's actions earned him a notorious reputation among military hardline supporters, as he was known for terrorizing the anti-junta resistance movements and brutally punishing those who supported or were associated with the movement. His social media posts often threatened the resistance movements and expressed harsh attitudes towards those who dare to oppose the junta. The news that Myomin has been arrested and killed by the local PDF serves as a warning to those who supported the junta regime. Chin Wind learns that Myomin was solely responsible for the raping many women, killing innocent civilians, and brutally beheading many villagers in the Makwe region. Many people view his killing as a good news and justice is served. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.